Ladies and gentlemen.
The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Now let's do it. What the fuck? Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It's Thursday. It's Korner Booth pregame.
You ready? No debate, cause it's all. I'm too official, got the drip, I got the sauce. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, yeah. Still standing and defiant, slay the competition cause I'm walking like a giant. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, corner booth.
I see as well. Kate, I feel like I have not officially said this. I've tiptoed around it. Kate, will you marry me?
Do I have to answer now? Or
no, you have time. You can think about it. You can think about a way to say no without hurting my feelings if you want.
Oh
lovely. I'll send you a letter.
Just don't even.
Right, cool. Thank you. I'll send you my address later so you can send it to my house.
Yeah, I'm never giving you my address. I don't want you getting that close.
Oh, I know.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome into the Korner Booth pregame. This is a special Korner Booth pregame. One, I brought the cowboy hat back. Two, we got some special guests in the house joining us from somewhere in the Midwest. They never told me where the hell these guys are from. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us from the Sports Scramble Podcast, Chet and Jacob.
It's far from the Midwest. I'm in Texas and Jacob's in Mississippi, but it's pretty close.
South, whatever.
Yeah, there you go.
That's more Midwest than I am.
Yeah, I'm in Central Texas, south of Dallas. So
I know I was going to listen. I'm on a roll today. I did all the prep work except for the standings last night for our Pick'em challenge because the regular season, of course, is over, and me and Matt do a regular season, but then the playoffs were with double points, and I tried to see if I could do extra cardio and shower and clean myself up a little bit. I looked down at 6:50. I'm like, I got plenty of time to log in. And lo and behold, the code shot. So no code. Me waiting for my bosses. We're both probably, busy with their lives to help me out. So it ends up me just sitting there waiting for 10, 15, 20 minutes. And I'm just kidding, like 5-10 minutes, like stressing like crazy. I get a text from Chet, hey, we're in the lobby, where you at? And I'm like, well, StreamYard sucks. So yeah, it's okay. I'll call them out. They need to fix this login thing. It's so stupid the way they run it. Either way, we're happy to be here. I'm happy to have you guys here. You guys excited for playoffs?
yeah, I mean, finally we get to see put up or shut up right here. So we'll get to see the Cowboys choke again. That's what I'm excited for.
Amen. As an Eagles fan, man, you have no idea how happy that makes me. Also joining us today, we have, of course, my right-hand man, the TikTok sensation, Matt Ordazzo.
Yeah, it's looking like future Jets quarterback Lamar Jackson is not going to play this week. Headline.
At least he summarizes like that. I love it. And, of course, the new guy, the Oklahoma killer himself, ladies and gentlemen, Mason.
What's up?
AKA Chris Collinsworth Jr. So if you guys just wait, guys, get him rolling. He actually starts sounding like Chris himself.
Yeah, I got him to. He's going to start saying, "Now here's a guy" every now and then. So
no offense, Matt. I'll believe when I see it because I feel like to do the Chris Collinsworth impression, you either got to nail it or you're going to miss it. But if somebody's got the voice, it's Mason.
Yeah, he's got all the potential to do it.
Oh yeah,
Does he
Love the compliments, guys.
The slide in when the show starts?
I mean, he should start doing that now. Like, because I always start the show solo, so I feel like it would actually work for him to like kind of just right in. Perfect. And I can't fucking breathe because of my allergies. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we have a great wildcard weekend ahead of you, but we have a lot of stuff that broke in the last 24 hours. First off, the neutral keywords neutral title game between the Bills and the Chiefs, if that ends up being the AFC title game, which most likely it will, unless Joey B has something to say about it.
Joey B always has something to say about it.
Exactly. But if Joe Burrow plays the Bills, I think the Bills will win. But if they play the Bengals, then, I digress. So, that being said, it's going to be in Atlanta at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I'm actually loving this. I don't know how y'all feel. I'm kind of happy. I like the whole there could be worse neutral sites, and Atlanta's a hub like for airports, so it's easy in, easy out. I do love the city. So, that being said, thoughts on the neutral site field? I know, because of the DeMar Hamlin game, we're never going to get exactly a perfect scenario, but I think this is the closest thing we're going to get to it.
I love it if it's on a Saturday because then everybody can get Chick-fil-A if they want to. But if it's on a Sunday, then they're all screwed. I guess I don't hate it. I mean, the NFL did try to make it as fair as possible in the sense of trying to get the neutral sites. They did inquire about Indianapolis and Detroit, and I think they were all turned down for that because you got Kansas City and you got Bills. Both have cold weathers in the winter, so you want to find an outdoor stadium that's pretty neutral with that. So it kind of seemed like the only people that were giving them yeses were people with domes like Vegas and Atlanta. So, I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day, but I mean, definitely going to get a neutral site in the sense of you're not going to get any homers, coming in there. It's not like you got probably a huge Buffalo or KC following in Georgia. You might, but I mean, I think the NFL did as good as they could when finding a stadium.
I'm kind of surprised the neutral site didn't roll over to the Buffalo-Cincinnati game if they were to play, just based on us not seeing the outcome of that. Because, if Cincinnati wins, then they have the home field advantage over Buffalo if they were to make it to the AFC Championship. So I saw today that, if they play, it's in Buffalo, and I mean that's a huge home field advantage, especially if it's snowing. Coming from Joey B, coming from down south in Louisiana, he's not used to playing in that snow. So we'll see how that all shakes out.
Jacob, what do you think?
I don't mind the neutral site. I think it's a decent location. You don't have a lot to choose from when it comes to that part of the country when you start heading south. I mean, your only other option, if you start heading down is Tennessee. I think you're getting too close to Cincy, if that's the case. But everywhere else is outside. I mean, you don't have any domes up north like that until you get to Minnesota, and I don't think anybody wants to go up there. But no, I have no problem with the location. Kind of a quick turnaround after playing a college football semifinal game. But if anybody can do it, it's them over there in Atlanta. So I don't mind with the location at all as far as proximity for each team.
What do you got, Mace? Anything?
I'm not a fan personally. I'm not a fan of the neutral site thing at all. I mean, I understand that this is a very unique situation, so they had to come up with something that, would be fair to both teams, but not really a fan of it at all. I guess Atlanta is a place that, the stadium's fairly new. It's a big stadium. It's indoor. So I guess, the best option probably, but just not really a huge fan of the neutral site AFC Championship game. So not too enthused about it, to be honest with you.
They should have picked like some high school stadium that's outside, make them play in the elements.
It
was supposed to be.
We're going down to your backyard, Chet. We're going to Allen, Texas. Let's do this.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
We got plenty of stadiums out here. Just pick one.
Right.
I think half your stadiums in Texas are bigger than our college stadium up here in Connecticut.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, whenever I drive back home to Mississippi and I pass some of these high school stadiums, it's insane. I mean, I went to LSU, so I'm used to a big stadium, but these are college stadiums out here that these kids are playing on. It's crazy.
You know what's crazy? I almost went to LSU as well if it wasn't for a non-rolling deadline that y'all had when I was trying to go. So Southern Connecticut State ended up being my spot.
Yeah, same thing for me. I was trying to get to Springfield and Tampa and everywhere else, and they were like, yeah, you need to commit like a week early. And I'm like, cool, so I guess I'll do that. And then I got accepted everywhere else.
So speaking of it getting accepted everywhere else, where the fuck is Derek Carr going to go?
I hope not the Saints. I saw some rumor for that, and I was like, that's not going to be any better than Andy Dalton.
All right, so
we're
going to do a game out of it.
Going on.
We're going to do a round table. We're going to go through a couple quarterbacks, a couple coaches, Everyone's going to pick where they're going. They get a sentence to defend it. See, here in the corner booth, we have a problem with sticking to one sentence. We had a game called the one sentence game, but me, Matt, and Mason butchered the hell out of that. So we switched to the 25-second game.
We might need 30 seconds.
No, I'm going to put a timer on you fuckers. All right. So, that being said, we'll start off with Derek Carr. Chet, you heard New Orleans. Explain your work.
Well, I saw it on Twitter, and I don't want him there because I think Andy Dalton's a better fit than Derek Carr, to say the least.
I don't want him there because I actually like Derek Carr and I despise the New Orleans Saints. This is perfect.
Oh, man, you can't be hating on the Saints now.
I'm an Eagles fan. We hate you fuckers.
Yeah. Y'all usually ruin our season, but we almost
Y'all
got
didn't
in
ruin
last
shit.
week.
You just gave us a reason to get rid of
No.
Minshew.
I'm saying y'all usually ruin our season. What, last year that we dropped a game to y'all and it knocked us out of the playoffs? I was like, come on. So I'll take Gardner Minshew over Derek Carr.
It's the curse of the ski mask game. That's what it is.
Yep. And you got Gardner Johnson. That hurt when we traded him.
You're welcome, but
Makes
dude, that
no sense.
man is
No sense.
he'll fit in just nice in Philly.
Yeah.
I will say is I think Derek Carr is going wherever Aaron Rodgers and Lamar Jackson does not. Hear me out. The first domino to fall this offseason will be Lamar Jackson, but I don't think he's going to Tennessee to where I think he's going to go. I just kind of tipped my hand. It's Tennessee Titans. I think he's going somewhere more south. Aaron Rodgers, I think he's either staying where he is or going somewhere more east. That leaves the Tennessee Titans with Derek Carr. Now, Will Compton tweeted out this morning about a picture of DeAndre Hopkins, freaking Lamar, and Derrick Henry. I would love to see that with Braves coaching style because them and the freaking Jags could just duke it out for the next 5 years. I am totally okay with that. Make the AFC South great again. Sorry, DJ. I feel bad enough as it is that your Colts suck. That being said, shout out to your we stumbled upon another guy. I think you guys know this guy.
Yeah, we talk to him every now and then.
Yeah, right. Couldn't make it tonight, unfortunately, but Derek Carr gets another run-heavy offense. A coach who's not going to overuse his abilities because Mike Vrabel may be one of the best head coaches in football. And, they have the capital to go get another receiver or the free agent market. Maybe they do go get Hop and they get Derek Carr. Derek Carr and Hop everyone shits on Derek Carr. And they have to realize, anybody else just think Josh McDaniels intentionally just shit on his career to get him out and get Tom Brady in when his contract was up? Like, no. I know I'm getting a little tinfoil hat here, but it makes way too much sense to me. I know it wasn't a sentence, but Mason, go.
So I know this is probably kind of out there, but I like Carr to Miami. Two of the fastest receivers in the league with Waddle and Tyreek Hill. That offense, as we have seen this past season with Tua, has been, it's up there with the best. It's up there with the Chiefs, the Bills, the Bengals. So I feel like you put a guy like Carr in there. I know it's been kind of questionable with Devontae Adams and Waller and Hunter Renfrow missing the majority of the season. But I think if you put him in this offense with Mike McDaniel and these two elite receivers, I think they could be very good in a division that, depending on what the Jets do and depending how the Patriots adjust in the offseason, I think they could be very successful.
All right. Matt, where do you think he's going?
I am going to address one of the teams that we haven't talked about yet, but our friend Tyler has talked about. I like him going to Indianapolis. You look at Indianapolis since they've lost Andrew Luck, they've been very desperate to find somebody to fill in to take that spot over. They gave, Phillip Rivers the key for the year. I think he did a lot better than I think a lot of us would have thought he would have done over there at his age, at this stage of the career. They probably thought they struck diamond in a rough with Carson Wentz, getting some youth in there, thinking it would last them a couple years. Jacoby Brissett was there, switched over to Matt Ryan and Nick Foles. Derek Carr to me is the perfect veteran for them to step in. He's 32 years old, I believe, or he's almost 33. He can give them another 7 years if he really wants to. You put him in with Jonathan Taylor. You give him one of the best running backs in the league. He's going to have a solid offensive line. He's going to have protection, something he didn't really have in Vegas. You give him a solid receiver core. I like Michael Pittman. I think Alec Pierce has a lot of potential. They go out and they get DeAndre. Maybe Devontae Adams wants out and they get him, or they just draft somebody to kind of fill in as a wide receiver one. And then he gets a really solid defense, which is something that Mike Mayock never gave him in Vegas or in Oakland, where everywhere he was, they never gave him a defense. The only time he ever had a decent defense was when he was that one year. I think he went like 12-4. And then he got injured. He missed the playoffs. So give me Derek Carr to Indianapolis. To touch up on Jared was saying, make the AFC South great again. I think going to Indianapolis, if you give him the right coach, give him the right offensive coordinator, I think he pushes them over the hump of that 9-win kind of mark, and I think they can run away with that division the following year.
Dude, if he goes to the Titans, or not Derek Carr, I was thinking Lamar. Well, he was talking about earlier. Do you imagine the read options that'll be run? You got Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson back there. It's like, just pick your poison. You're going to get ran over or you're going to get just like outmaneuvered.
That screams like 300 rushing yards a game and like 50 passing yards.
Never draft a Titans wide receiver in fantasy football after that.
It's Derek Carr, Lamar Jackson, or nobody. No Treylon Burks, no Robert Woods.
Right.
I'll take Derek Carr to a team that Jared probably doesn't like, but I'll take him to Washington. I think that the Commanders need a go-to guy. They need a veteran, and they just really haven't gotten it in some time since Alex Smith. But I think they're the biggest question mark as far as quarterback battle goes currently in the NFL. I don't think Taylor Heineke's probably the answer for them. So I've got Carr going to Washington. I think he'll change sides to the NFC, and there'll be a good fit there. He's got a decent receiver. Terry McLaurin's there. You got a nice guy in Jahan Dotson. So there's decent receivers there in order for him to get rid of the ball and a good running game as well.
Yeah, I think him going there, he gets another underrated defense. If they can keep Deron Payne, strengthen that defensive line. But like you were just saying, you give him those receiver weapons. Logan Thomas is a serviceable tight end. You give him that running back duo and Gibson and Brian Robinson. I think he would. If any of those teams we mentioned, I think he automatically gets plugged into a better system.
All right. Next up, a man who is known for dating porn stars and getting injured than he is winning games. Ladies and gentlemen, where the hell is Jimmy G going? Where is he going?
I have theories what the next people will probably wind up talking about, but I think Jimmy Garoppolo gets signed and is a backup, to be honest with you. Not saying he's not starter worthy. So my thought is I think Miami goes all out for Lamar. I think they miss out on Lamar. And I think they wind up just rolling back with Tua, letting him take that offseason to get healthy. Hopefully he gets cleared to play. And I think they sign Jimmy Garoppolo and he becomes the backup in place of Teddy Bridgewater. And, I think eventually Jimmy Garoppolo will step in for a game or two if Tua goes down next season. But my thought is he goes to a team like Miami or New England, but I don't think he starts. I think New England rolls with Mac Jones. And if he goes to New England, he's going to wind up being that backup behind him. And then vice versa with Miami.
All righty. I say Jimmy G is going to end up being a New York Jet. I think that, unfortunately, the way Dom is going to crumble and the way that Robert Saleh is going to attack this, his first and second choice will be off the board. Yes, Tyler, actually, this is my second choice. Actually, no, I'm going to change it because I have another theory for New York. I do like the New England reunion. I have a weird feeling New England is going to find a way to get rid of Mac Jones, and they don't like Bailey Zappi. They're going to see Jimmy G, and they're going to say, you know what? Fuck it. We're just going to take it and run with it. So it's either of those AFC East teams. It's either New York or New England in my book. So I'm the host. I can answer for two. All right. Chet, where's he going?
So I'm going Jimmy G back to New England as well, solely based on the fact that like you alluded, his ex-girlfriend. She's from Boston, and I think there's still some feelings going on there between the two of them. And I think he's going to find his way back to that Boston area and make nice with her.
Make nice. All righty, Jacob.
I'm going to keep Jimmy G on the West Coast. I think he takes Derek Carr's old spot in Vegas. I think it'll be a reunion, but not the reunion that everybody's hoping for in New England. I think he'll be reunited with his former offensive coordinator, Josh McDaniels. I think it's a decent fit for him. Not too far of a move. Finally, some one-on-one time with Josh without TB12 there. So I think it'll be a decent fit there for him. I think New England's too much of a stretch. I think if he goes back to New England, I don't think he's the starter, and I don't think Jimmy G is going to sign a contract with New England knowing that he's going to be the backup once again in New England. I don't see that happening in a long-term scenario, so I'd have to keep him on the West Coast.
There we go. Mace.
I agree with you, Jared. I think that, I agree with your original prediction. I feel like he is going to be a Jet come next fall. I feel like New York has a lot of young pieces that he can work with in Garrett Wilson. I feel like the Jets end up taking another receiver in the draft, someone like Smith and Jigba, or maybe even a guy like Jordan Addison if he's able to fall that far to him. And they've got a really good young running back core. So I feel like give me Jimmy G to the New York Jets.
Nice. All right, next up on the list, if I can just finish typing this damn banner without my computer freezing. This is the problem. I try to do 3,000 things at once, and this is the thing.
You're trying to be all high tech, man. You got to just let it flow.
Bro,
just throw the name at us.
All right, I'll get started. Mr. Mobile himself, Lamar Jackson. Where the hell is Lamar going?
Well, you already know where I got him going. So my team is already going out there, and the stingy owner has already announced that he will splurge whatever he needs to splurge for a quarterback, which we've never had a quarterback in about 60 years. So give me Lamar Jackson to the Jets. I just want it to happen. But if we cut Corey Davis, if you cut Carl Lawson, you cut Jordan Whitehead, you're gonna get up about $60 million in cap space. Throw that fucking bag at Lamar Jackson, in actual reasons, it's time. No GM in this Jets history has ever gotten a quarterback right in the draft. Sam Darnold did not pan out. Everybody forgets about Christian Hackenberg. May I remind all of you about Bryce Petty? You got Zach Wilson. I think I already mentioned Sam Darnold. Mark Sanchez did good for us for a couple years, didn't do anything after that. Geno Smith didn't pan out with us, but he pans out with Seattle, which is fine. So we have no history. No, we fucking Ken O'Brien over Dan Marino. That's fucking insane. But just nothing ever works out when we draft a quarterback.
20 teams pass on Dan Marino. Don't hurt yourself too much.
No, nobody can hurt now because everybody in that organization has passed since that happened. But Greg McElroy. How could you forget about Greg McElroy? Let's just throw another one on the list. Phil Simms' son, Matt Simms.
Wait, I thought you were about to say Chris Simms, the greatest commentator in all football.
No, Chris Simms' brother, Matt Simms, that played football for a little bit, that nobody knows played football for a little bit, was on the Jets. Started too. Didn't work out.
Finish up.
No.
Sorry, I'm trying to cut you off so you stop talking.
To make a whole long story short, nobody's ever gotten it right in the draft. It's time to go get the proven veteran. We all saw how this team played the first half of the season. They were a competent quarterback away from actually making a splash and getting one of those wild card spots. Throw the bag at Lamar Jackson, give him some weapons on offense like the ones we've already got, add to that. I'm hoping they outbid Miami and go from there, but give me Lamar on the Jets.
I have Lamar going to South Beach. Hear me out. He's from the area. He grew up loving the Dolphins. And the craziest thing is about this is you tell him he gets Tyreek and Waddle, like the same reason you wanted you, and he gets a stable of running backs. It makes total sense. And Mike McDaniel somehow by some miracle saved his job. And like you said yourself in a pre-show chat, Matt, like Dolphins fans are all ready for Lamar. And Stephen Ross will throw a blank check at Lamar Jackson. Also, if he doesn't play and then the Ravens get their head kicked in, he's not going to be as expensive as everyone thinks. This dude passed up $150 million deal? Guaranteed.
It was
something
up there.
actually insane. So, I really do think he will go to Baltimore. I don't know. Tyler said Baltimore. Tyler, no, he's not staying at Baltimore. Just stop. Just don't. Like he's. There's a reason he's not playing. He's faking this injury. He's done.
You think he's faking it?
Oh, guaranteed.
I mean, it's the playoffs.
I don't think he's completely faking. I think he could probably slap a knee brace on and go under center. But the problem is he's like, play 80% or sit out when we're not going to make, because like, let's be honest, the Ravens are not winning the Super Bowl. If they win the Super Bowl, I will shave my beard off on camera.
I mean, you never say never, man. You can never say never.
No, I am saying never, Mason. That's why I just said my lovely beard. I've only shaved it off completely 3 times in my life. I will take it off and go full baby face like you if they win the Super Bowl. Like seriously, I will fucking do it, Baltimore.
Do you think he's not playing because he's not 100% and he's thinking if he goes out there and he just sucks it up, he's like, oh, now I look terrible.
It tanks his stock even more.
Can't play in the big games, which has always been his kind of deal. He's always lost the big ones.
Shout out to my boy Frank Michael Smith. He actually posted something today about this, friend of the show. He posted this whole thing about how like Lamar killed his entire stock. This dude could have taken a guaranteed contract. He bet on himself, and for one of the first times ever, it backfired. Like kind of like Dennis Schroeder going to the freaking Celtics. What it turns into now is more of, hey, where is Lamar going to end up, and who's actually going to give him enough guaranteed money? Nobody's doing a Deshaun Watson deal. NFL agents know it. GMs know it. Players are starting to know it. It's not happening. After how bad Watson was this year when he played, and the fact that the Browns may be one of the worst teams in football going forward, I may start calling the Cleveland Bill Cosbys. Don't get me started. That being said, I think Lamar is going to get like maybe $70 million over 6 years or 5 years guaranteed to Miami. That's where I think it happens. The fact that he's also the same age as Stetson Bennett is horrifying to me.
Also, to throw one quick thing out there, I will bet anything that Joe Douglas does not lose another one to Miami. He lost Tyreek. I don't think he goes 0-2 on this one.
Listen, I would rather him go to the Jets because I can root for the Jets. The Dolphins annoy the shit out of me.
There's one thing that Joe Douglas got from Philly. One of those traits he got from them, that was just ruthless aggression. He does not fucking tread lightly with trades, this and that.
I just don't want to see him go up against Howie, man, because he'll lose. It's like you can't beat the master.
Yeah,
I think he's still on the dartboard in Stephen Ross's office for that Jay Ajayi trade.
Yeah, I think he's on. I think we have a peace treaty with you guys, so I'll take it.
Yeah, well, because we kicked your ass 13 times in a row, so yeah.
Yeah, there's another streak. 13 times to you, 13, 14 times to Mason up there. We'll snap one of them eventually.
Yeah, but the worst part is y'all have never beaten us in a preseason. That's the word. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little aggressive here. Jacob, where is he going?
Sorry, Chet, but I think I'm going to steal yours.
Man, now I got to come up with another one.
I agree with you in a sense. No, I think Lamar's headed to Nashville. I think he goes to Tennessee. It'd be a very interesting move. I think Tennessee has the money in order to do it with the moves they make in the offseason. But I think time of Ryan Tannehill is done. They need a guy in there that's going to teach Malik Willis how to run the offense correctly, and I think Lamar can do that, especially with Derrick Henry in the backfield with him. That's fantastic. It would be very hard to beat them coming out of the backfield. Not to mention, with that read option, you got the option to throw it to some of the best guys, that the league can offer that are kind of underrated guys there in Nashville. So I think it's a pretty good move for them if they do pick up Lamar. I think the reason Lamar is going to, he's not playing the rest of the season now. I think he's hurt. I don't think he's 100%. He's probably around 70%. I don't think he wants to risk it for his future, knowing he has no guaranteed money on the table. And I think it's a moment where he's going, I screwed up. this past off season and not signing that contract, and I think he knows it. So there's only one ticket, and it's a ticket out of Baltimore. So I just think that Tennessee's probably the best option there for a really dominant offensive backfield.
Here we go. Mace.
Yeah, so I'll keep it simple. I think that the Ravens just tag him and he sticks around for one more year, and then we'll be having this same conversation next year at this exact same time, wondering whether or not he's going to stick around and sign a long-term deal with the Ravens or go somewhere else.
So you think he's going to go to the Cousins route?
Yeah, I know there's a market for him. Obviously, there are probably 4 or 5 teams who are probably willing to break the bank on him. But I just feel like, in that particular draft class, the Ravens really, kind of stuck out for him and, gave him a really unique opportunity because no one was really expecting this dude to go in the first round. And they took a gamble on him, and I think he is the type of guy that, it remembers that and respects that. And I think he's definitely willing to, maybe work with them for one more year. But if he balls out next year and they're still unwilling to pay him, I think he's out.
Here we go. And last but not least, Chet.
Since Jacob stole mine, I didn't really think of another one. I'm still going with Tennessee. Like I said earlier on the show, a read option with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry is just a scary thought. Like, don't draft any Tennessee wide receivers. Man, it's going to be 300, 350 rushing yards a game, maybe like 20 passing yards, and just let them ball out.
I don't think Lamar winds up going back to Baltimore and on a tag, just in the sense of they already dished out $100 million to Roquan. They tag him. I think that's another $45 million. I don't think they got a lot of cap space. And if they do all that, I don't know if they're going to be able to sign anybody else. They just focus on the draft. And I think that's just going to make them a little weaker. It could work out for Baltimore in the sense of they might do worse next season. If that happens, they get a lower draft pick. They let Lamar go. They go draft somebody else like a Caleb Williams or something. But, that'll be interesting if they go down that route. But, dude, Tennessee would be insane. Like we were talking about before when you were gone, they'd have 300 rushing yards a game and like 50 passing yards, and they'd probably win like 13 games.
I mean, who's their top wide receiver right now? Robert Woods?
Bobby Trees.
Yeah, him and Treylon probably.
I say you wouldn't even have
Treylon low-key has some great tape towards the end of the year. Like, everyone's like, shit on him all you want for the asthma, the fact that he basically missed 80% of the season, but like, the catch against Philadelphia, where basically Marcus Epps tattooed his helmet into his chest plate, it was the best catch I've seen all year. He'd also made a couple great plays in a couple other games as well. But dude consistently put up decent numbers. I think he'll be a top, I'd say 25 wide receiver by the end of next season. I think he really has that, like, I think he just got a rough start, and the fact that Tennessee had so much quarterback turnover, it kind of really took away from the fact that he had a great season.
I just think it's hard, and you see it in Baltimore right now. When you have a run-first, option offense, whether that's through the quarterback or like in Tennessee right now with Derrick Henry, I just feel like it's very hard to be productive as a wide receiver. I mean, it was very weird that A.J. Brown was able to be as productive as he was in Tennessee with Derrick Henry still, being at that time, like I think we would all agree, the league's best running back, last year and probably the 2 years before that. So, yeah, I feel like the obvious comp for him is A.J. Brown. I mean, same size, similar build, very fast, very powerful, can be explosive. But, I mean, dude, if they get a guy like Lamar, I mean, he's probably toast, man. I mean, there's just – how many catches is he going to complete? And I mean, I think there's still a big question mark around Lamar's arm. I mean, even now going into his 6th year, I guess next year will be his 6th year in the league.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
All right. Next up on the list, everyone went, correct?
I believe so.
You done messed up, Aaron.
Did you see that commercial that came out? I think it was maybe the national. Yeah, that was I was rolling.
The fact, listen, me and my cousin were arguing about this the other day. He goes, "Who do you like better out of Key and Peele?" I'm like, Keegan Michael Key, bro. You kidding me? Jordan Peele's kind of an asshole. Like I'm all about Keegan Michael Key. Also, dude's a fucking Lions fan. So he's automatically got my respect there.
I loved how Aaron Donald was just at the back. Present. And it's just, they like remade it perfectly. You can't do that.
Listen, Paramount low-key, I just got Paramount Plus from my sister, my brother-in-law got it. So because I pay for the HBO Max and like everything else, we share passwords. Eat a dick, Netflix. Literally the most useless subscription site is cracking down on shared passwords. Shocker. So with Aaron Rodgers, right? There's 3 things I'm thinking about. Who is going to shell out the money for him? I have 2 names. Number 1, and this is my most likely choice, is the Tennessee Titans. Dude has a house down there. Everyone forgets that. Dude also can go. He's got Derrick Henry on the ball. Vrabel would definitely, he's the GM now, would definitely shell out to maybe go get D-Hop. And number 2, this is crazy enough as it sounds, he's like the dark horse in Las Vegas to go join Devontae.
That's who I was going to say.
I'm thinking, like, low-key, I'm not going to steal your thunder, Chet. All I'm saying is just Devontae and Aaron. But Tennessee, man, I'm telling you right now, Tennessee gets Hop, gets Aaron.
They're going to be a problem.
Yeah,
dude,
they could get very interesting,
a fist fight for 18 games between Tennessee and Jacksonville. And I am ready. Get your fucking popcorn ready. That's going to be a good division.
What do you think?
I took Macco. Sorry.
No, just before I even give my prediction, what do you think would be the compensation Tennessee would have to give up for Rodgers?
At least 2 firsts.
Oh my gosh! No way! Get out of here. He's not worth that much, man.
Well, the problem is it's the fucking contract. Oh yeah, the contract actually negates that. So I'd say at least 1 first.
Theoretically, the Raiders, I feel like, wouldn't even give that up. I don't know who would be willing to give up multiple first rounders for a dude that's going to be
Tennessee
40.
doing a first, a second, maybe 2/3. Like it wouldn't be a lot of amazing picks, but at least be a couple good. They wouldn't give up a first this year, or maybe they would give up the first this year, and they move Rodgers. Tennessee takes on that ridiculous fucking contract. Like the clauses in that contract alone. Yeah. Give me a brain aneurysm.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. Me and me looked this up when we did a show. It was like 40. It's like 40 million if they cut the cap, right? It's 40 million dead cap if they cut him loose. Like, that's insane to me.
He wrote those up when he was dating that certified witch. Like, she was a legit witch.
Now he's dating. Okay, by the way, I've met his future father-in-law before, the owner of the Milwaukee Bucks. Cool dude, by the way. I did some work at his house as a contractor. Really cool guy. But I never got to see his daughter, but I've seen pictures before. Holy shit.
She wouldn't be with Aaron Rodgers if she saw you, huh? Is that what you're saying?
Damn straight, brother. Just let me get my tin of Copenhagen. I'll really get that country charm going. All right. Anyway, Chet, we've been cutting you off for 15 minutes. Go.
No, I mean, I was going to say Las Vegas, and then I remembered how they left things, him and Devontae. Like Devontae, I don't remember. Did he bounce first or Rodgers said he was coming back?
Devontae left and Aaron still came back. I don't know, dude. I don't know. This whole
I think Aaron's re-signed and came back, and then they traded Devontae. I remember that happening and me thinking, I wonder if Rodgers regrets this. So definitely Devontae was after Rodgers came back.
Yeah, because there was something said about, I came back because I thought he was staying. And I mean, yeah, it's a business, but Devontae definitely had some say in that trade there. So I don't know if him and Rodgers have a little bit of beef now or something, and they don't want to play together, or what's going on there.
Wouldn't be surprised if it was some sort of miscommunication with the GM, because it does not seem to be a fan favorite with the players who they have over there. Gutekunst. So yeah, that's a name.
You gotta pronounce it like an absolute asshole.
All right, give me Green Bay drafting DJ Ugalele. So then you have Gutekunst drafted Ugalele, and then they gave him Huma Unawananui at his tight end.
I keep thinking you're gonna keep saying DJ ukulele, and
I can't say his
I'm
last name.
myself.
I can't say
I'm
his
not
last
gonna,
name.
I'm not gonna lie
Like,
to you.
listen,
I don't
am
know when
not a
it happened.
PC person by any stretch, and I respect the Polynesian Hawaiian heritage. But bro, that last name
It's
is
something
a
else.
fucking mouthful.
Dude.
Holy shit!
I
That's-
called Tua two shoes because I can't even say his last name. Tuka
Tua Tagovailoa. That one I
Yeah.
know because I co-hosted with an Alabama fan for 2 fucking years. I know exactly how to pronounce that fucker's name.
Yeah, and they pronounce it as if it's like, how could you get that wrong? Because you've seen the
It's
way
like,
it's.
how could you pronounce God's name wrong?
Yeah.
Fucking Bama fans, man. I swear to God.
Hey, you got Jalen Hurts out of him, so
Yeah, listen. God bless QB Jesus. I love that man. Listen, if him and 80% of my family extended wise, not my immediate, was on the side of the road, one needed help, was on a time crunch, I picked Jalen first, no question. Because 80% of my family has given me more stress than Jalen Hurts ever has. That man's done nothing but calm my soul.
I mean, honestly, when he's in a game, you win. It's as simple as that.
He's got, I want to say this quick about Jalen. I'm gonna say this. I thought about this today. He's wearing a Jordan shirt on Sunday, like the he's back shirt. My boy got that Jordan vibe, like that Jordan Kobe. Like, I'm gonna kill you. I'm not gonna say shit. I may mumble some shit in the background, but I'm gonna kill you.
He's real
And
quiet.
it's like it's a little chilly. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, yo, this motherfucker not right.
Yeah, like he's quiet. He just kind of lurks in the background and does his thing. And then he was the same way at Alabama. He was never like a huge showboater. And then he got his job taken. He's like, all right, go to Oklahoma. I'm going to go ball out, and then I'm going to get drafted to Philly.
Damn straight. All right, Mace, where in the sweet hell is Aaron going?
So I agree with the rest of you guys. I think Tennessee is a very possible final destination for him. But for that to work, I think that Tennessee is also going to have to go out and get Hopkins or trade for a receiver or something like that, because he's, it's a very identical situation between Green Bay and Tennessee right now with the lack of receivers. And, the Derrick Henry is much better than Aaron Jones, but, the combination of Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon definitely kind of compensates. So give me Rodgers to the Titans.
Okay. Jacob.
I'm going to be a little different. I'm going to go out there and say
This isn't the reason you're different, Jacob.
I don't think anybody pays Rodgers the money that he wants. I think Aaron's probably done. I think him and Randall Cobb are both going to hang it up together, sail off into the sunset, and call it a day. I just can't envision Rodgers being anywhere else than Green Bay. I don't think anybody's going to shell out the kind of money to pay Aaron Rodgers, knowing about the QB draft class that's coming in. And what the future is. I mean, so many of these teams are going after young quarterbacks for a reason. I mean, they're gearing up for, a 5-year fight, coming soon. And I just think that, I don't think Rodgers is a part of it. And I just think that I don't see him signing anywhere else. Sure, he might be a guest, at the Tennessee Titans game, but I just don't see him playing, for another organization other than Green Bay.
I will give you this, Mace. I mean, not Mace. Jacob, this definitely was like not a left field take. It was definitely like not a okay. Everyone thought, okay, what team's he going to next? He did get his ass kicked. I was at that Eagles-Packers game where he got like roughed up. He got crunched. That Eagles pass rush like just constricted him. And I watched him walk to the locker room. I'm like, dude, this guy ain't right. I mean, it was really cool getting to watch Rodgers live. Even though I was drunkenly screaming, yelling at the Packers bench to get the fuck off my field. But
City of brotherly love.
dude,
Right?
I had to sit with 2 Packers fans my buddy brought with me. And I felt bad for about 30 seconds. And then when they tied the game, they were talking mad shit. I'm like, and then also a Packers fan put up her fucking beer in front of my camera while I was trying to record the Eagles running out. And I was like, I hope your team gets killed. All right, Mace, go. Oh, not Mace. Matt. Sorry, wrong M.
I agree in part with Jacob. I think I definitely think he's done in Green Bay. I think he kind of solidified that without saying it when he told who was the Lions player that wanted his jersey? Was it Jamal Williams?
It was
Yeah.
Jameson Williams. No, it was
Yeah.
Jameson.
Yeah, he
Jeez,
told him
one
like
of
I
them.
got to keep this one or something.
Yeah, I think once I heard that, I think that solidified to me like he's either contemplating retirement or I don't think he's going to come back in Green Bay. I think he's aware. Listen, this team drafted Jordan Love like 4 years ago. It's his time. But to throw a wild card team out there, give me the Niners. He's born in California. He's a West Coast guy. It would be something where he'd probably go back to his home state that he's from. But give me the Niners. I think it'd be interesting. I think Rodgers realistically has maybe like 1 season left, maybe 2. But I think like at least for 1 season, I can see John Lynch calling him up, bringing him over to the Niners, and then having him start. And maybe this is a way for Trey Lance to learn from him. Just because I know Brock Purdy is playing very, very well for a Mr. Irrelevant rookie quarterback right now. But this team also invested a 3rd overall pick in Trey Lance, and we haven't really seen much from him. So unlike Zach Wilson, who just showed everybody that he's not the guy, Trey Lance, we really haven't been able to see anything from him yet. So give me Rodgers to the Niners. Give me Rodgers. Yeah, well, give me Rodgers to the Niners, and I think he mentors Trey Lance for a year, and then you see Trey Lance step in 2024.
All right, everyone go. All right, we're going to speed run these last 2, so you get one. You don't even get an explanation. You just say what it is. So
Spit it out.
Spit it out and go. Raiders.
Yeah. Fucking Raiders.
Chet.
Skip. I got to think about this one.
Mace.
Retired.
Ooh. Jacob.
Agreed.
I love it. All right, you're the tiebreaker there, Chet.
New
I
Orleans.
think Tom Brady knows what retirement
Are you a
is.
fucking Saints fan at this point? Like, what the fuck is wrong?
I am
with
a Saints fan, but
He ain't
I've
going to
seen
we found somebody who might be worse than Cruz, Matt.
That's if you think about it. Tom, I mean, I know it's Tom Brady at 46, but Tom Brady, Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry,
Yeah, but that
Olave,
offensive
Kamara.
line is brutal, man.
Yeah,
Well,
I
Brady
didn't
hasn't
say
won
that.
anything in that stadium since 2002 when they won the title over the Rams. That's it.
So the thing is, though, I know you said no explanation, but I feel like I got to explain myself. He almost came to New Orleans before Drew Brees said he was coming back. I mean, it was like a done deal, and Drew said, "Nah, I'm coming back." So he played 1 more year, and then there's been some rumblings. It's like the thing is, I don't think he goes to New Orleans unless Sean Payton goes back to New Orleans, which I don't think is happening. So
Which you won't.
Yeah.
You're all stuck with Dennis Allen for 1 more year.
Yeah. I think it's just Raiders. I think Raiders makes too much sense in the sense of he just reunites with Josh McDaniels, and then you give him Devontae Adams, who'd be the best receiver he's had since Randy Moss.
Yeah.
Also, his Howie Roseman evil genius master plan is showing. Josh McDaniels is sitting there like this with stroking a white cat on a revolving chair. Like he's I got rid of Derek. Now I get Tom in Vegas away from the grumpy old asshole in New England.
He could also revive Waller's career too.
Dude, Waller's career is fine. It's just he was injured all year, and that Raiders offense is ass.
Yeah, let's see. Who's his next one?
Derek just stared down Devontae the entire season. As a Darren Waller owner, listen, help me win a fucking championship those last 2 games, but damn, it got dicey. I started 7 different tight ends this year, by the way, boys, in fantasy, and still won the fucking title. Overrated fucking position.
Yeah. Jonathan Taylor lost me that one.
Yeah. Matt somehow made it. Listen, Austin Eckler, AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts. God bless you. Oh, no, Amon-Ra St. Brown. God bless you.
Said Jalen Brown.
Who's next? Sorry, my savior. Also, by the way, I want to go back to this comment quick before we go to the last one, which is Sean Payton. Yes, I don't like this. There's only one Uncle Snoop, okay? Can we stop? Tyler, you actually have to win more than 1 consecutive game before you call yourself Snoop Huntley. All right, last one, Sean Payton. Denver.
Arizona.
Ooh. Mace.
Come back to me.
Jacob.
Arizona.
Okay. Matt.
I also think Denver.
Wow, we're splitting the shows down the middle. Mace, you're the tiebreaker.
All right. I'm going to say Dallas, man. After they took this game on Monday, man.
Makes sense, though.
That
Cowboys.
honestly, he's
he-
always been destined to go there.
And for those who don't know, he
Bring
lives in
it
Dallas.
on.
He lives in Dallas. His kids go to school in Dallas. When he wasn't coaching for the Saints, he's living in Dallas. So,
Go watch the
Cowboys.
Netflix
I think it
movie.
makes a lot of sense.
I think Sean Payton's a dick, and him going to my least favorite football team in sports.
But Jerry
Bring it,
Jones seems to always look for a reason to fire Mike McCarthy after they go like 12-5 or whatever, because they lose like first, second round of the playoffs, mostly first round with them. But like, it's just like I always feel like every year Jerry Jones loves him, and then he gets to January and he's like, all right, we got to get rid of him.
Okay, and he's more in love with Prescott than he is McCarthy.
Yeah.
So, and
It's in
one of
his
them's going to go.
DNA.
One of them's going to go after they lose. So,
Okay, stop talking, Mace. This is my dartboard, man. Stop talking.
But yeah,
Dak Prescott's my dartboard this week.
but Peyton to the Cowboys. I think that's a solid sleeper pick.
You
It's
got
in
a
his
comment
DNA
on
to go to the
there.
dartboard.
Well, if
Peyton to
if,
Houston wouldn't be a bad idea.
if
Shout out to
Peyton
Brent
goes to
14.
Dallas, I think Kellen Moore is out of Dallas at that point.
Why do you
So is
think?
Dan. Well, Dan Quinn might be getting a head coaching job anyway because he's taking Fangio with him. Ain't
I
nothing
mean-
saving that Dallas defense until they get a fucking safety who's not like Jeff Heath.
I feel like Moore has a good opportunity. I mean, wherever Peyton goes, I think out of Denver and Arizona, whichever one Sean Payton doesn't choose, I think Kellen Moore would be a good candidate there. There's just a lot of young head coaches coming in, and I just think he'd be another one to come in and kind of break the long streak of old guys, gray hair on the sideline. So I think he's a young one that needs an opportunity.
I will say this before we move on. Sean Payton to the Cardinals scares me because he may deal with Kyler's bullshit for about 30 seconds and then take him out bat and shoot him with a shotgun. Like, he's too old school for Kyler Murray. Sean Payton's of that, like, Dan Campbell, Nick Sirianni, Bill Belichick, freaking these older school coaches. Sirianni may be kooky, but he runs his shit like the old school stuff, like a Bill Parcells type. I don't think Kyler, like the Cliff Kingsbury method of yoga, hot massages, and fucking chai tea is going to work with fucking Sean Payton. That style ain't going to fly, man. Kyler is going to get his ass chewed out in the first 5 minutes.
Oh, no more Call of Duty. He better get his
He's
double
gonna
XP
say, if I
weekend
see
in
you on
now.
that goddamn Xbox, I am literally going to shoot with a 12 gauge. As somebody who finally got to experience shooting a 12 gauge for the first, I've shot like a ton of firearms in my life, being from a rural area of the state. Never shot a 12 gauge for some fucker. It just never happened. Go to my buddy's house. He goes, "We're about to go hit the range," and he goes, "Want to bring a 12 gauge?" I'm like, "I never shot one." He goes, "What?"
You shoot some skeet with it, or you just shooting targets?
Blowing targets away. And I am currently getting PT on my shooting shoulder.
That's okay.
7.62s, 5.56s, pistol rounds, 30-06 ain't an issue, right? Because they're all balanced.
Mm-hmm.
There's something about a 12 gauge slug when that thing hits your shoulder. I swear to God, I feel like somebody pushed my rotator cuff through the back end and through my shoulder. I was like, yo, what the hell? But you know what? I don't know. Just listen. Shout out to my boy Trev. That was a fun time. All right, moving on. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for everyone's favorite time of the week, the meat and potatoes of this meal, brought to you by the amazing people at yeetsofficial.com. If you want amazing shades like these that are not only Jared-proof, but ask my former co-host and host of the Tailgate and the Quad Pod, Kevin, they are dog-proof. His dog literally bit into a pair of these, and the only thing that got knocked off was the nose piece, which he put back on. Incredible. I left these in my work truck for 6 months. I'm a contractor. The amount of chemicals and crap I left over my car, the fact that these are still good and polarized and they cleaned up nice, can't beat it. $40 is like the max you're going to pay for a stylish polarized lens. Hundreds of styles. They're great people that are out of Florida. EatsOfficial.com, promo code Corner Booth, 10% off. Official sponsor of the Corner Booth, Belly Up Sports, and the Six Pack. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. First off, congratulations on our regular season champion. Matt defeated me 84-78. He gets a 6-point lead heading into the playoffs where me, him, and Mason will compete for the title. Now, Matt, here's where this gets fucking hilarious. So, if I win, I get a Jalen Hurts jersey. If Matt wins, Matt gets a Sauce Gardner jersey. Now, if Mason wins, Mason gets a $50 gift card of his choice from me and Matt.
Let's go.
So, Matt,
What kind of
neither of us
jersey you
win
gonna
our
get?
jerseys. So, basically, me and Matt get a discount if Mason wins. Either
Pretty
way,
much, yeah. We
it's
spent
gonna be a
$25
fun
each instead of
time.
130.
Yeah,
I
really.
wanted to make sure Mason actually got like something good if he kicks our ass in picks, because Mason actually did win our picks challenge like the last 5 weeks in a row because now he's been doing Thursday shows since he got off spring winter break. So now that being said, I wanted to make sure this kid actually got something. So, gentlemen, the rules are simple. There are 6 games. You get 1 upset pick where you get double points. This doesn't really apply to you because you're guests, but for Matt, myself, and Mason, boys, each game is worth 2 points. Upsets are worth 3. If you hit it, you win. There's no spreads. It's money line only. You can bet the spread in your parlays if you want. That's your call. I did it 1 week and I almost won more money. It happens. So that being said, let's get into it. These money lines may have changed. If they have, let me know. I know that Dolphins Bills game, the money line keeps jumping. We'll start off on Saturday. By the way, congratulations to Matt. Golf clap, boys. Golf clap.
Oh,
Nobody?
I was very
Oh, there you
confused.
go. Yeah, there you go, Matt. Good job. The most logical co-host I ever had. I've won the last 3 years in a row. No jerseys, no T-shirts, no nothing. I've been owed so much shit. Finally, the one co-host who actually going to pay me back for me winning wins the fucking thing. Fuck. All right. First off, we're going to the Bay Area, where can I call him the Brocket chip? I'm sorry,
Brock
it's
Purdy's the man, dude.
Brock Purdy's the dude, man. But I still have this odd theory. He's going to go up against the top edge rush, and he's going to get his ass kicked, and it's going to be ugly. It ain't going to be this game, though, because Seattle's edge rush is the ghost of Bruce Irvin, and that's it. That being said, the Seahawks do have a good secondary. These teams are very familiar. I want to take Seattle so fucking bad, but I know it's not going to happen for 3 reasons. 1, the Niners can control clock. 2, their defense is uberly aggressive, and they have one of the best pass rushers in football. That being said, I got to go with the 49ers, and it kills me. I'm also picking them with a heavy heart today. One of my buddies, he lost one of his other best friends. Not disclosing how, but my buddy who lost a friend is a diehard 49ers fan. That being said, I picked the 49ers. I think he needs a win this week. So give me the 49ers. I almost might take that money line. Not going to lie. I mean, that spread. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with the Niners as well. The spread's tough. I don't really like to touch those giant spreads because it doesn't always pan out for me. But give me the Niners. I don't know if it's going to be like one of those games before where the Niners completely blow them out defensively like they did before. I think this, divisional matchup in the playoffs, I think the Seahawks will come with a little more firepower coming off a big overtime win to get into the playoffs. But at the end of the day, Niners defense, I think, will bottle up Geno Smith. I think they'll control the passing game as well. So give me Brock Purdy doing just enough to get them by.
Mason.
I'm going 49ers here. Not touching the spread, same as Matt. I feel like that's a tricky issue. I mean, it's an in-division game. I bet the weather's going to be kind of crummy. So give me the 49ers. This team, man, I feel like this team could win the Super Bowl. I have them in the Super Bowl. I'm sure that upsets you, Jared, but
listen, man. Say what you're going to say. Doesn't hurt my feelings.
Look, this team is hot, and Purdy is playing stress-free football because he's got so many weapons. Debo, I'm sure, is going to be, as the weeks go on, he's going to become more healthy. And this team is going to be very hard to beat over the next month. So I like the 49ers in this first game on Saturday.
All right, we're going to go to our fellas from the South.
I'm going.
Jacob, who are you taking, man?
I'll let Jacob go first.
I'll take the Niners. I think home field advantage is big here, especially for them in Levi Stadium. I'll take the Niners and the points. I think they cover it. 9.5. I don't think is a stretch against the Seahawks. Defense has struggled a little bit to stop people, so I'll take the Niners and the points.
If there was ever a game, don't worry, I'll let you go in a second. If there's ever a game to watch like Brock Purdy just completely fuck it up, it's either this or the championship game. That's it. He's gonna roll the divisional round. I think there's two scenarios where Brock Purdy if he loses. He either just comes out. Seahawks are fired up. They're desperate. Geno is throwing absolute piss rockets around the field, and they get into a high-scoring game. Or like they go into the link, or they gotta go, or even if they got home field advantage, and they just gotta play like a hot Kirk Cousins or or Tom Brady on a mission or something, and it's just gonna get, I don't know. I feel like the Brock Purdy train's coming to an end, but it hasn't come to an end yet. So that's I think the reason why we're going clean sweep, unless my friend Chet over here wants to go against the grain.
No, I'm going for the 49ers too. I think they just have way too many offensive weapons, and Brock Purdy will figure out a way to get it done.
All righty. Moving on. Go Chargers, go home. I'm taking the Jaguars. Dougie P is that dude. Okay, listen. I wholeheartedly love Doug Peterson. I love what he's done for Trevor Lawrence. I love what he's done for this team. I think Brandon Staley is going to out-analytic himself into a loss. And we might see the Spanos family make Brandon Staley swim with the fishes, because I feel like the Spanos family's got some mob ties, the way they operate. So give me the Jags this is like a partial upset, I guess. This isn't my upset pick, but it's a partial upset. I just think the Jags at home, at night. That, by the way, Duval, everyone's not talking about this. Duval, when the Jags are good, that place is fucking rocking at night. Well, because there's nothing else to do in Jacksonville besides drink, so fuck it. Let's go to the Jags game. Also, I think they're like 5-0 with the thong, with the Jags mascot wearing the fucking man thong. So, yeah, give me the Jags.
So this upset rule that you got with double the points, because I'm keeping track of it. I'm gonna beat Jacob. I got to represent.
All right. Well, here's the thing.
Do you pick the upset?
They gotta have at least a minus. So on the road, it's got to be at least 5.5. You got to be at least a 5.5 point dog at home. Wait, no, 2.5 point dog on the road, or 5.5 point dog at home. Basically, the field goal swing plus some points, because everyone talks about in the pros how it's a 3-point swing at home. Yeah, so that's the rule. It's a 3.5 point swing plus a point or two just to kind of make it even. This doesn't count. I just think that the Jags aren't getting enough credit. They probably should be favored in this game. Also, Mike Williams didn't practice today, by the way.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Mike Williams is not looking like he's probably going to play. I am actually going to take the Chargers in this one. Jaguars defense is not the greatest against the pass. I think Justin Herbert's pretty much just going to be tossing it up to Josh Palmer, to Keenan Allen, to hopefully Mike Williams if he plays. You got Austin Eckler that can do a lot of damage in the backfield. So I'm going to take Chargers with this one to run away with this one on the road.
There we go. All righty. Jacob. I love throwing curveballs into this and making y'all think it next.
I'm going to take the Jags at home. I think home field advantage in this one is big as well. I don't think Jacksonville is a very tough place to play, but I just think it being a night game is a little different for those people. It doesn't happen too often in Jacksonville, so I'll take the Jags. I'll take them plus the points. I just think that I think they'll cover a a +2. It just seems like the Chargers got too one-dimensional for me. It got to Austin Eckler, and Justin Herbert I don't think has shown me enough this season. And I think the only reason they're alive is Austin Eckler, really. If it wasn't for his running game this season there, I don't think they're a double-digit win team this season, and they're lower on the totem pole. It just seems like a weird year. I had high hopes for Herbert this season. He was kind of my front runner, before the season started in preseason for MVP, and that kind of never panned out. So I'm gonna take the Jags.
All righty, Mace.
Give me the Chargers in this game. I was not very impressed with last week's game from the Jaguars. I just feel like this, Trevor Lawrence is young. A lot of these offensive weapons are very young, or this is going to be their first playoff game. So I feel like, while the same applies for these Chargers players, I just like Herbert, man. I mean, he's going to throw this ball probably 40 plus times. And Eckler has yet to be stopped on the ground by anyone, really. And I just feel like the Chargers win this game simply because they just, to me, they have a better quarterback and they just have better weapons. I know Mike Williams probably isn't going to play, but I just still prefer the Chargers to the Jaguars.
Fair. I'm lone wolfing it for the corner booth side. Love it. This is great for the competition. All right, Chet, bring us home. Who's winning? Who's winning on Saturday night?
I'm kind of split between the two, but I'm going with the Jags because they've been hot lately. Right. I mean, they got all the momentum and motion behind it. And I went to high school with a guy that plays on the Jaguars, so I'm pulling for him. We'll see what happens.
You want to name drop here or you don't want to name drop?
Yeah, Zay Jones. You ever heard of him?
Oh,
no.
Shit.
No.
I was about to say.
The guy's name is actually Tim Jones. I think he's been on their practice squad for a few years, and he's now getting some playing time on special teams. He's a wide receiver too. So,
see, I also got a little Miami Hurricane bias because my boy Rayshon Jenkins is just being an absolute nightmare on that defense, man. Also, can we just talk about the fact that Jags defense is low key super scrappy. And they got a lot of tendencies of those old Doug Peterson Eagles defenses where they weren't like elite, but goddamn, they made it difficult for you to win the game.
I feel like the Jags got nothing to lose. Nobody expects them to be there.
It's
like a TCU situation in college.
Yeah,
it's
a dangerous thing because they're a team where no matter what happens, everybody's coming back. Like Doug Peterson's not unsafe. Neither is Trevor Lawrence or anybody. So even if they lose, they're still going to run it back with the same crew and everything. So you could probably see them go for it on some 4th and 3s or things like that.
Fair enough. All right. Next up, we're going to Sunday now. This game gets more and more embarrassing. Dolphins Bills. Anybody picking the Dolphins here?
Cannot say I am.
Bueller? No? Okay, yeah. We're just going to make this one fast. The Bills may actually run everybody. I'm not even going to put our names here. I'm just going to put a line. Because if anybody, listen, if somehow the Bills do take this, holy shit, that dude's cashing out big. This line goes up into it's looking like a college line right now.
Yeah, I'm going to keep Skylar Thompson in my prayers. Hopefully he makes it out of Buffalo perfectly fine. Yeah, I can't even make an argument for Miami to win this game if I wanted to.
Yeah, especially in Buffalo. And yeah, no.
Yeah.
Just put Tyreek back there and they'll run a wildcat the whole game.
It's turning into this thing where it's like guys, at some point, like it unfortunately Teddy may not be the answer as a backup, and I think they're starting to realize like if Tua can't get healthy for this, the dude's brain's basically fucking gelatin, which is even more sad. Mm-hmm. I feel bad for Tua, but at the same time, it's like I don't even know. Like their organization is just such a colossal clusterfuck. So I just the Bills might roll them. All right, next up we're going to An actually interesting game. The fact that this game, everyone's going way too hard in this upset is cracking me up a little bit.
I mean, Kirko Bangs, he's not known to perform in prime time, so we'll see what he can do.
Does this qualify for an upset pick?
I don't at this point, Matt. If you want to roll,
I don't think there's really a lot of
unless you take like the Ravens or the Bills. There's no real upsets or the Seahawks. So like, I'll allow it. My upset pick is the Jags. You can take the
I'll allow that.
Yeah,
that was So I know I made a TikTok about all of this. I'm switching up a couple of my picks just so we don't all have the same picks, obviously. But I'm going to take the Giants in this one. The Vikings offensive line, I believe on the right side where Kayvon lines up, is very banged up. Like, I think the right side of their line is not looking like it's going to be very active for the game. And I think the backup center was just cleared. So they're going to take a big hit on the offensive line. I think that just screams and major upside for that defensive line for Kayvon Thibodeau, for Leonard Williams, for Dexter Lawrence. So I think they apply a lot of pass rush on Kirk Cousins. I think they rattle him early. I think it's going to be very, very, very – wow, that's a giant cup you have there. I'm just massive.
Beautiful.
Wow. Holy shit.
Straight tequila.
He picked it up. Matt, stop talking.
He picked it up, and it just didn't stop. Anyways.
Just keeps on going.
Yeah. But
Adam contact calls from Corner Booth.
I'm going to take the Giants. I think they attack that weak offensive line early, and the Vikings defense is very lackluster. So I think Daniel Jones can attack them early and get it done. And I think Kayvon is the MVP of that game.
Nice. I'm going with the Vikes, man. I'm telling you right now. Whew, everyone's sleeping on Kirk Thuggins right now, and Jay Jets and them boys. Like, listen, they score points fast, and I'm telling you right now, the Giants, I would take the Giants in this game if they didn't play earlier in the year. The Vikings are a weird team where I don't know, like if they were playing like Philly first round or San Fran, call it a ball game. It's over. Giants are going home. Or in the second round, Vikings are going home. Sorry. I misspoke. But the Vikings and the Giants, what makes this interesting is the Giants secondary is absolute horseshit. If Kirk gets a couple balls off, it doesn't take much. Listen, in the Thuggins curse, like this man took out the Saints in the Superdome. One Kyle Rudolph push off later, but that was the will of the football gods, man. Y'all were bucking for it. And I'm telling you, Kayvon Thibodeau and them boys, they really stirred up some shit when they basically broke St. Nicholas. So, that being said, give me the Vikings. I just, there's something I foresee in my future Jay Jets running past Adoree Jackson at Mach 1. So, and KJ Osborne getting one of those like signature KJ Osborne crossing route touchdowns. Chet.
I feel like this one's going to be like game-winning field goal type of deal. It's probably going to be one of the closer playoff matchups we got. I know Kirk's got his issues in prime time, but I'm still going to roll with the Vikings just because, like you said, the Giants' secondary is pretty much non-existent. And I think Jay Jettis is just going to feast. So he's just going to step back and say, Jettis is out there somewhere. Let's just throw it up and hope he's there. So
yeah. Everyone forgets that, and also they have like two good running backs, like a decent tight end and decent offensive
they got
line.
They got other weapons than Jefferson, but it's just that's who everybody sees. And even if they put two dudes on them, they got other people that can hurt you.
I mean, they're gonna get their head kicked in by San Fran or Philly, but like at least this is a good win for Kirk Thuggins and the boys.
Yeah. He'll get a nice chain on the. I guess there won't be a play.
Add it to the 15th. That neck's getting a little fucking heavy.
Oh.
All right.
They'll probably wear them warm-ups pregame.
Yeah, right. Jacob.
I'll take the Vikings as well. I think the Vikings probably get a 3-point win here. It'll be a push, but I think there's enough for them to get it done in Minnesota. I think if this game is flipped, Giants have the higher seed, and it's in MetLife. I think New York could get it done, but I think the Vikings at home will be too tough to beat. Not many teams have beat them at home. It's hard to do it, and I think that they'll be ready to go. Yeah, like you mentioned, I I just don't think New York has the secondary in order to compete with them. Not like Green Bay did with Jair Alexander. That was they double team Jay Jettis all night, and he really didn't get the ball at all. I just don't think that's the case with New York. I don't think they have it. I think Barkley's going to have a decent game out of the backfield for New York. They'll keep it close, but maybe this is a field goal winner to actually take Minnesota to the next round.
There you go. All righty. You pictures ready. Mason.
Oh yeah.
So I'm looking back at the game from Christmas Eve between these two. This is Kirk Cousins' line here. So 34 for 48, 299, 3 TDs, and no picks. And I'm here to tell you that performance is not going to happen again on Sunday. He's going to throw 1 pick. You can lock that in. That's a guarantee. And this was a 3-point game a little bit around a month ago. So, you know what? I really like the Giants in this game. I don't really have much confidence in the Vikings. I don't know, man. This run game has not been great for them over the course of probably 3 weeks or so, 4 weeks or so. So don't have confidence in the run game. And when I think, you put a lot of pressure on Cousins, particularly because of that banged up O-line, kind of like you were talking about, Matt. I think he goes for 1 or 2 picks, and that probably is the difference in this game because the Giants get a couple more possessions with the ball, and they're able to pull this one out.
All righty.
Hey, based on your interception guarantee, if you put some money on it, you're looking at plus 100 odds for him to throw over 0.5 interceptions.
Perfect.
Sprinkle a little cash on there, as we like to say.
This definitely means we're going to have a wild standings for the first week of the playoffs, and I love it. All right. Bengals, Ravens. We'll make this quick. Is anybody picking the Ravens?
No.
Not with Snoop back there catching the ball.
Yeah, Snoop Huntley's about to get freaking massacred by Hendrickson and the boys. Like, this is going to get ugly. You thought the coin flip celebration was personal? By the way, shout out Joe Mixon. I fucking love that celebration.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Mason's Oklahoma boy. Shout out Mason. I do love Joe Mixon, though. The fact, out of that draft, he was the running back I wanted the most in Philly, and the fact that he's dominating now makes me even more mad. But we got Miles Sanders, and apparently we're supposed to draft Bijan Robinson at 10. Thanks, New Orleans, by the way.
Yeah, you're welcome. You can have Alvin Kamara. Just give us our draft pick back.
I don't want that freaking nose ring wearing loser. He's burnt out, baby. All right. Yeah. Everyone's picking the fucking Bengals. Like, this is ugly. Like, Joe Shiesty and the boys might light it up. And finally, the game we've all been waiting for. America's team. Just kidding. Nobody fucking calls him that who actually is a real football fan. Versus the GOAT. Now, Dak Prescott will be the subject of my what's it called, so I'll pick last. So, that being said, Cowboys open up as 2.5-point favorites according to our friends over at DraftKings. I'm going to start off with the boys from Sports Scramble. Chet, I always make you last. I feel bad. You're picking first.
So I'm taking this as like my upset game, even though it's 2.5. It's not a lot, but I'm going Bucks to beat the boys. I mean, Tom Brady had like an up and down year this year, but it's Tom Brady. They call him the GOAT for a reason. He's in the playoffs. He's in his element. Even if he probably won't make it to the Super Bowl, but I don't think he gets knocked out first round to the Cowboys or Dak threw 3 interceptions last week. I mean,
and Fuller with like his second pick six of the year.
Yeah,
that man's old as hell and he's still picking off passes.
Right. So I think once again, Cowboys will choke and the Bucks will roll on.
All right. There we go. All right. Jacob,
I'm gonna go with the Bucks as well. I think that they'll win this. Yeah, I don't think the Cowboys can take any from the Bucks defense. I think the Bucks defense is the difference in this game. Dak probably throws 2 picks in this game, and one of them is a pick 6. It just seems like a setup for the Cowboys. They haven't won a playoff game in forever, and it's not going to be this year, and definitely not on the road in Tampa. They might get beat by 2 touchdowns in this game. I think 2.5 to the Cowboys is a joke. Actually, it just too much surrounding the Bucks' lack of offense, but their defense can score. They're the Iowa of the NFL for me, so I think that they can take it.
Your boy Tyler. Tyler, for not being available, has been commenting a lot today.
Yeah, I don't know what he had going on.
Tyler, if you're on a date or something and you're commenting on our post, your priorities are a little whacked out.
He's not.
You answered that way too fast.
Come
on, man. Don't be hating on Tyler.
He'll give me some
all good. Now listen, I had fun talking to you and Tyler in that meeting the other day, Chad. But now listen, it was great to meet Jacob too, man, because I knew I was missing one of y'all. But
I think he's at work and he's just got his headphones in and he's hoping he
that.
doesn't get fired.
Boy, that's the hustle. I love it. Because listen, I watch either half a season of a show on slow days. I work in a masonry yard, or like I'll do it because I watch shows I know, so I can work with it in the background and like check my screen when something cool happens and keep working so my productivity doesn't drop. Or I bang out at least 1 or 2 or 3 podcasts. So that being said, let's go to the corner booth, fellas. Mason, who are you taking?
Yeah, I mean, everyone here knows my thoughts on the notorious Cowboys. And, as our friend Tyler here is saying in the chat, 7-0 against the Cowgirls. They're at home. Prescott's going to go for 1 or 2 picks. That's a given. And something funny is just going to happen in this game, man. I mean, I feel like the way this game could go is like, maybe tied going into the fourth quarter, and we just get vintage Brady, man. Fourth quarter comeback, or maybe they're down big at half. Something's going to happen to where the Cowboys just find a way to blow this game. Whichever way it does happen, I think the Bucs take this one at home. You can't sleep on Brady, man. I know he's aging. I know he's old. I know they haven't looked sharp this year at all. But you can never ever count out Tom Brady. So I like the Bucs to win this game.
So if all of our picks come true, it is either going to be Vikings. It'll be Giants, Eagles, and 49ers versus God, I can't think of the 3 seed right now. Or no. Wait, brain hurting. 49ers, Bucks, Bucks, Eagles, and Hurts gets his revenge. Which, dude, are you kidding me? Like, after that beatdown they put on us in the playoffs last year, I want that smoke. Tom, bring that ass here, boy. Josh Sweat and Hassan Riddick want to send you to the retirement home early. Go have your 26-year-old girlfriend gave you an ice pack. Listen,
I don't think anybody would argue with his position he'll be in once he goes home from the playoffs. That's for sure.
I think he'll be okay.
Yeah.
All right. Maddie, take me away. What's going on with Bucks Cowboys? Who are you taking?
Switching up some things to make it a little interesting. I'm taking the Cowboys on this one. So listen, I firmly believe both quarterbacks. Oh, did I just make Mason sad?
Oh, come on, man. You know better, dude.
He's lost a lot of respect for you.
Listen, I can guarantee both quarterbacks are not going to have great games. Tom Brady has not looked like he's progressed at all over the season. He looks like he has his moments where he's vintage Brady, and then he throws 3 picks, and we're like, oh, yeah, this is who we have right now. Both quarterbacks are going to turn the ball over. It's in whatever Jerry Jones says, it's in Dak's DNA to probably throw the ball to somebody else. Yeah, so both of them are going to have both of them are going to have turnovers. None of them are going to play clean games. I like the Cowboys defense better than the Buccaneers defense. I just think right now youth's going to take over for the Cowboys when you play against the Buccaneers. They got I just don't. Brady is Brady, but I'm gonna go with the youth over the 45-year-old guy right now that has not looked like he's made any strides this year. So give me the Cowboys over the Bucks. I think it's gonna be very close, but I think Dak relies heavy on CeeDee Lamb, on Tony Pollard, on Dalton Schultz to kind of get that job done for him. But I do think both quarterbacks are going to turn the ball over. But give me Cowboys.
See, this is the game, even over Minnesota and New York and Seattle and 49ers, right? I was like, all right, I could easily pick the Cowboys, and I'm going to kiss to death when I pick the Dallas Cowboys, man. I really am, and nothing will make me happier. But it's like, do I want to win the bet? I'm going to lose here. I am the kiss of death when I pick the Dallas Cowboys. I'm like my old co-host Mark. He picked the Panthers 5 weeks in a row in 2018. They lost 5 in a row. Beautiful thing. That being said, there's a reason this motherfucker's on my goddamn dartboard. Hold on. Get this fucking thing out of here. Nope. Breaking things. Listen, I carry around this 35 fucking pound piece of plywood for a fucking reason. I wear this cowboy hat like Stephen A. Smith because it's ironic. Listen, Dak Prescott is going to be on my dartboard in about 5 minutes for one reason only. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to send these fuckers home, and Sean Payton will probably be the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Or if God is really good towards us football fans, he'll sign with the Cardinals or the Broncos, and the Cowboys will have to I don't fucking know, some college coach way over his skis. Either way, give me the Bucks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been dormant since the beginning of the football season. I am losing circulation in my left leg for one reason only. It is the Corner Booth Dartboard presented by the amazing people here at Canadips.com. Promo code BLAB 20 for 20% off. Listen, I love my Copenhagen. Haven't done it in 2 years. Love my Redman. Haven't done it in a year and a half. Here's the thing. It's a great number 2. I'm not a Zyn guy. I can't do it. It literally makes me feel like I just smoked 5 cigars. This being said, and I'm a cigar guy, which that should tell you something. Great products. There's like 30 different fucking flavors. They have ones with caffeine, ones with like melatonin to help you fall asleep. They just have regular ones with CBD. I go through a 10 and a half a week, and I love it. Matt is also a big fan as well. Belly Up 20 is the promo code, and that's our favorite right there, the Palmy. Literally, you're trying to cut calories, but you're craving Arnold Palmer. Pop 2 of those in, take a slug of water. It's like you're drinking Arnie. It's the best. Promo code Belly Up 20 for 20% off. These guys sent me my order doubled up after they shorted me a 10 once. That's the kind of people they are. Promo code Belly Up 20 for 20% off. Official sponsor of Belly Up Sports, the Corner Booth, and all things Belly Up Sports. That being said, I had to post this. The return of the dartboard, baby. Starting off, Matt, who's on your dartboard?
I am putting the New York Jets fan base on the dartboard. I don't know what they want. I am one of them. I know what I want. They don't. It's such an indecisive. I want this, but I don't really know if I want this fan base. It really annoys me sometimes to just be associated with some of these people sometimes. I love them all, but I think our friend Ryan McCarthy, who's probably not listening anymore right now, but can attest to this. Every single Jets fan on Twitter everywhere wanted Mike LaFleur gone. They were like, this offense is terrible. It's too inconsistent. He's a rookie. He's not progressing. We need to get rid of this guy. I like him, but I think he needed to go. I liked him as a person. I thought he was a nice locker room guy, everything like that. His offense was too inconsistent for me. We were finishing in the 20s every single time, ranking-wise. I just think we needed to switch it up. I think we need a veteran guy to take over the position, and I wanted him to go, and he's gone, and I'm happy with it, and I don't feel bad about it. All these fucking fans throwing all over Twitter, oh, he was scapegoated. This is the scapegoat. This is the guy they got rid of for the inconsistencies. Dude, we put up like fucking 10 points every damn game, it felt like, down the stretch. Like the last 2 games, we put up 9 points, 6 points. We fucking got embarrassed by every other team we played. And it was all offense. I know the quarterback sucked, but somebody's got to go. And it's the person calling the plays that has to go at the end of the day. And that was him. And I don't feel bad about it. But all these fans that were all calling for his head now want to retract their statements and say that he was scapegoated. Make up your fucking mind. Stick to the decision you make. Back it up. And figure the fuck out. But he's gone, and I'm happy. But everybody else that doesn't know what they want in New York Jets world, figure it out.
Okay, Tyler, leave TCU alone. All right, come on. Like, they've taken enough shit this week. Go back to work, dude.
Man.
Come on. Like, that was out of pocket. Listen, it's like trying to pick on a guy who just got his car sideswiped in the middle of Manhattan. Like, that's just a dick move.
You're going to love my pick then.
All right.
Picking TCU as my upset was probably a Hall of Fame.
You should stop listening to me for upsets, man. I hope you realize that.
I
literally am the Charlie Day of upsets where I'll literally pull one out of my ass and 80% of the time it'll hit, but when it doesn't, it looks fucking terrible.
Well, I thought I was invincible when I picked LSU over Alabama, and everybody thought I was crazy. Then I picked this one. I'm like, oof, okay, I got a little.
Listen, or you could be JD last year. And well, also, you're like the first guy ever to miss 2 gimmies in a season.
Oh my God! What was the? Well, I know the first one was the.
By the way, fellas,
if
you missed the gimme, which is like a layup pick, like Chiefs over the Bears. If you miss it, you get minus a point for the week. Matt missed back to back, and he almost missed a third.
I missed. My first one was who was it? It was Niners over the Bears. That was when they won week 1. I was like, you gotta be shitting me. It's the fucking.
I
Bears.
had a near perfect week, and then I lost on UMass BC upsetting North Carolina State.
I also picked, I think, Colts over Texans, and that was when they tied.
I just said I'm sorry, and no void. It's just a no point. I just said you're not going to lose it.
Then I went on a nice college streak. Then I picked Chiefs over Texans, and that went to overtime. And I stopped picking NFL.
Did you learn your lesson? Never pick NFL games for gimmies?
Oh yeah, never. You're never gonna, unless it's like after the season's over.
Sunday for a fucking reason. Great movie, by the way. All right, Jacob, who are you taking? Who's going up on the board for you this week?
For me, it's Jim Harbaugh. There's too many question marks surrounding Michigan as a whole. I don't like it. Their administration tweets out today saying that they're in good terms with Jim Harbaugh and there's positive movement, but there's no contract on the table. My problem is there's too much around Michigan that's a problem with Jim Harbaugh. They didn't handle the situation with TCU in the semifinal game well, and it just was a crumble effect. If the only reason Harbaugh is there to get you to a semifinal after you beat Ohio State and you fall short, then that's not what they want. I mean, me being a lifelong Penn State fan, I know Ohio
that's
State.
Where the Jim Harbaugh slander's coming from.
I know Ohio State and Michigan too well, and I just don't think the Michigan fan base is happy with how the last 2 seasons have turned out at the end of it all. All the happy-go-lucky stuff. My problem is Michigan doesn't play a tough enough schedule in the first place to be where they're at. No reason you need to be playing against Hawaii at the beginning of your season. They're terrible, and it's just no reason for that to happen. Do something like what Georgia did, play Oregon and show that you're actually a decent team at the start of the season, and it doesn't take you 8 weeks to get started. That's why Jim Harbaugh is on my dartboard.
I love it. Chet, who are you putting up here?
So mine was TCU, but it got some backlash when Tyler commented.
Because enough of this shit, man. They already got their beating this week.
The only reason mine's TCU is because we had our live watch party for the national championship game. Good time watching it with the guys. And
I checked in for about 5 minutes, by the way.
Hey, it was a long one. I had guys commenting saying like, "Hey, this is more interesting than the game. Keep it up." So
I literally had it on my phone, and I got so pissed off. I started my 7th playthrough of Skyrim. My favorite video game, so it's okay. But I wanted to go something that wasn't going to just make me sad.
Well, I say they're my dartboard because Jacob and I started betting with emotion during the game. They went down 10-0 early.
Oh God, why?
And we were like, okay, let's look at the money line. Let's watch it. It went from like plus 400, plus 500, plus 600. They're driving down the field. It's plus 800. I'm like, because I live in Texas, so I don't have access to betting legally. And I was like, Tyler, put money on it. I'll Venmo you after. They were like about to score. I was like, they're going to score here. Game's going to turn around. And I have a good feeling about it. They scored, and that was the only time they scored.
So you owe Tyler half a mortgage payment. Got it.
Yeah, pretty much. Jacob went on the other half, so it's okay. Ride or die together over at Sports Scramble, and we died.
There you go. That's teamwork right there.
Maybe not TCU on the dartboard. Maybe just our betting hopes on the dartboard.
Listen, me and Matt tried live betting during a show once, and both of us lost like $20 in a matter of 5 minutes, and we're just like, all right, we're done with this shit. That was the game that like the New England Patriots Arizona game where like everybody got hurt.
Yeah, so, we were like, oh, anytime touchdown Ramondre Stevenson over Kyler Murray passing, and this dude left within the first play.
I think it was one other guy got hurt too. I think it was on Arizona. I'm like, what the fuck?
I needed that game. It might have been that game. I needed to win to get into the playoffs, and Kyler tears his ACL on the first play, and he was my quarterback. I was like, cool, that's awesome. Which is. I mean, I was losing by 5 points to the guy. He scores 1 point, then tears his ACL, and it was over with. So was cool.
That's absolutely the worst. All right, so the man strapping.
Hey, Jared, you would get this pretty well. So Chet brought up playoffs, and I got screwed playing against Chet during the season in fantasy because your boy Devontae Smith there.
Buddy, Slim Reaper.
The old trickery in the backfield with the football and throw it backwards all the way through the end zone, turn it over and screw me. So negative fantasy points cost me a 0.4 of a point loss to Jet.
Yeah, that was he had Devontae Smith, and it was at the end of the game with the the lateral, like just throw it around, make something happen. The game that the Eagles lost. And I ended up beating Jacob by 0.4 of a point.
Those garbage time touchdowns, man. They're the fucking worst. Listen,
I won in fantasy because he fumbled.
I won in fantasy because basically I had a crazy week out of my players, and then it was just Austin Eckler and AJ Brown carrying my ass to the title game. And also Darren Waller, back-to-back weeks with a touchdown. Miracle. Love it. Yeah. All right, Mace, you're on the clock here. Who's on your dartboard this week?
So I'm going to go with soon-to-be Texas Longhorns savior, Arch Manning. Today it was announced that Sooners commit Jackson Arnold from Denton Geyer High School was the Gatorade Player of the Year. Arch Manning wasn't even considered for this award. He wasn't in the I guess it was 3 finalists. He was not included in that group. We all know why this kid is considered to be the number 1 overall consensus recruit in this year's class.
We get nepotism.
That's because of his last name. And I'm looking forward to beating him for 2 to 3 years.
Watch, like Arch Manning is just absolute booty cheeks, and Mason is going to be like dancing on top of his apartment building, buck naked with firecrackers.
Yep. I think he's going to be a huge bust at Texas.
I think he's going to be okay, but listen, I'm not even impressed with Quinn Ewers. I love watching tape, right? Like it's like one of my guilty pleasures, and that's why I'm going to talk about this in my next segment. But another guy I watched a lot of was Quinn Ewers. I'm like, holy fuck, this guy's not even that good. Like I'm trying to understand. Like he's got a cannon, I'll give him that. But like I'm looking at him on tape, and I'm like, bro, his decision making's dog shit. He's trying to fit,
he's got an awesome mullet.
Oh, well, I mean, also, like, guys, come on. The mullet after a certain point is kind of just like, all right, listen, buddy, you're playing ball one of the top 10 most prominent, like, image-wise programs in the country. Gotta go to a fucking barber. Either grow the flow out or get a fucking haircut, you fucking weenie. All right, I'm not a big mullet guy. My hair before I cut it during COVID was down on my mid-chest, and because of my tattoos and the way I look with my beard, a guy asked me when my raiding party was leaving shore. And I said, no, I'm hitting your village first. It's okay. I know I look like the Viking look, cowboy hat aside. Anyway, speaking of the cowboy hat, this is in honor of my favorite quarterback from college, and they had to go to my least favorite team, Dakota Prescott. Listen, you and your jackass of a brother are a piece of work, man. You're right here on this dartboard because on tape, you drive me fucking crazy. The Dak Prescott apologists are the masters of cover-ups because there's no fucking way in hell any quarterback is not a quarterback of the fucking Dallas Cowboys could get away with some of the asinine, horrific, and just overall bad throws this guy makes per game. If you have a second and you want to laugh and you're not a Cowboys fan, go watch the All-22 film of the last 5 games of Dak Prescott. Just watch some of the lowlights, some of the missed throws and the INTs, some of the sacks he's taken. Man, I'm telling you something right now. The problem for the Dallas Cowboys is not Mike McCarthy. That Milwaukee cop motherfucker is not the issue. It is Dakota Prescott. And it's not the fact that he is he's the quarterback. It's the fact that Kellen Moore's offense is like built for a rocket scientist crossbred with Lamar Jackson. I swear, there's no reason that offense works. And the fact that CeeDee Lamb, who's a glorified number 2, is your number 1 receiver. Listen, CeeDee Lamb is the best number 2 receiver in football over Devontae Smith. I will fully admit that. But he's one of the worst number 1s. And I'd say bottom 20, which says a lot about how bad receivers we've gotten this year. Anyway, CeeDee Lamb is a great receiver. He's played great for Dak. But, like, Noah Brown, come on. James Washington, he cut his ass. T.Y. Hilton's the only reason y'all beat Philly. And I don't know, man. Like, Tampa just got to get a couple hits on Dak. And if they get any kind of running game going, I don't know, man. They need to rely on Tony Pollard to break games open now, which is crazy that he's their backup running back. But, hey, listen, the Eagles have been relying on Boston Scott to beat the Giants the last 3 years, so it's all good. All right, that's my dartboard, and holy fuck, my leg hurts. All right, that's like heavy-ass fucking plywood.
I want to see you try to stand up now. It just
Squats,
fall over.
baby.
It just hits the deck.
Hits the squats. Listen, I'm all about it. My shoulder's a little hurting from holding this thing up for fucking 20 minutes. Either way, I think Dak should have gone to another. Dak should have tested free agency. I think if he went to another place, he would probably be a great quarterback. There's something about Dallas. Unless you're built for Dallas, you're never going to be successful there. I think Tony Romo would have won multiple Super Bowls if he went to any other fucking place in the country. Tony Romo goes to the Jets, goes to the fucking Giants, the 49ers, the freaking Vikings, Seahawks, Ravens, wins a couple Super Bowls. I think Tony Romo is a lot of wasted talent, but the problem is the Dallas Cowboys, there's something about that brand, the way they run things is the reason they will not win a Super Bowl for the foreseeable future.
They'll let old Jerry Jones in too much.
Old Jerry.
Shut up and be the owner. That's
well, I mean, listen, you're the one losing. You and Mace are the ones from Texas, so I'll let y'all roll with that one. Fuck it. I'm trying to move to Texas, honestly. So, I fucking hate Connecticut. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a shout out to our boys from Sports Scramble, Chet and Jacob.
It was
appreciate y'all coming through today.
Thanks for having us on.
No problem. All right, Chet, where can we find y'all? Like, where we find your amazing content?
So you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. I think we're on iHeartRadio now since we got the new megaphone stuff set up with the network. Just Sports Scramble Podcast. I wanted just Sports Scramble, but apparently that's copyrighted because there's a VR game called Sports Scramble. So Sports Scramble Podcast, wherever you get your podcast. Twitter at Sports Scramble 4, like what's in my name right there. YouTube, Sports Scramble Podcast. Pretty much any social media, wherever you get your podcast, you can find us. And then I'll let Jacob plug our other show that's it's focused solely on college football.
Yeah, so Tyler in the comments there, him and I run a college football coast to coast, so we cover all things college football. We generally do that beginning of the week, following weekend games. We talk a little bit in the off season. We're going to talk about the conferences as a whole. Each conference, kind of break them down where they stand. But no, you can check that out. That's on all the same platforms as Sports Scramble.
Fair enough. You can, Matt, where can we find our great content?
You can find us at the Corner Booth Pod on, I believe it is Instagram and YouTube. You can find us at the Corner Booth on TikTok, Facebook. You just search up Corner Booth Podcast and Friends. Will pop us up right there. Me personally, just Corner Booth Matt on everything except Twitter. Still Big Wisp _8, but that's where you can find all of our stuff for Corner Booth.
Mace, where can we find you pumping out some great Corner Booth tweets?
Yeah, so give us a follow at Corner Booth Pod on Twitter. That's where you can find the links for the latest podcasts through Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, when we put out our live shows, as well as just tweets going on about any kind of sports, as well as anything that's happening in the sporting world.
Listen, you want to pick a fight with Mason? That's the best way to do it. Come at the Corner Booth Pod. Sometimes you may even get lucky. I might be running at that point. All right. You can find, of course, me at Belly Up Jared on Twitter because of the fact that I am like management at Belly Up, so I have to keep that moniker. But on everything else, I'm Corner Booth Jared. That is my name. This is my show that I founded, and I love it to death. And I have the two best co-hosts in the world, Mason and Matt. That being said, we appreciate you stopping by. Enjoy your weekend. Have a great time watching amazing football, and please drink responsibly. Do not drink and drive. We will see you guys on Monday for Corner Booth Pod. We're back on Monday. No more national championship games over because that really lackluster end of college football is done with. Thank God. All pro football and a little bit NBA sprinkled in, and some baseball rumors. Yeah. So enjoy your weekend, folks. Shout out to Sports Scramble Pod for dropping two of their best with us. We'll probably be cycling them into our regular guest rotation. I think they passed the test. And deuces. Peace out, boys and girls.